No matter what you are facing, no matter if it feels like the whole world is falling down around you, there is someone you can run to. You can run to God. Look at what Psalm 3, verses 1 to 6 says. O Lord, how many are my foes? Many are rising against me. Many are saying of my soul, there is no salvation for him in God. But you, O Lord, are a shield about me, my glory and the lifter of my head. I cried aloud to the Lord, and he answered me from his holy hill. I lay down and slept. I woke again, for the Lord sustained me. I will not be afraid of many thousands of people who have set themselves against me all around. Look at verse 1 again. It says, O Lord, how many are my foes? We all face many different things in our lives, and while this verse is referring to physical foes, I believe it is still very applicable to many different things in our lives, such as hardships, trials, spiritual attacks, and any number of situations or circumstances we may face in our lives. For some people, or at some points in our lives, we can feel like the entire world is coming down against us. And I'm sure that's how David felt when writing this psalm. Whether it's health issues, financial needs, broken relationships, stress, anxiety, spiritual attacks, or any other number of things, we do face many foes in our lives. Now look at what the rest of verse 1 and verse 2 says. Many are rising against me. Many are saying of my soul, there is no salvation for him in God. When everything in your life feels like it's falling apart, or when the whole world feels like it's against you, Satan likes to feed us the lie that God can't help us or that God won't help us. Maybe we even start to feed ourselves the lie that God can help this person or can help that person, but he can't or won't help me. And something I want to make very clear is that there's nothing too small for God to fix and nothing too hard for him to deal with. Don't let yourself get too fixated on the problem or the situation, but like David, set your eyes on Jesus. He isn't some far off, distant God that's uninterested in our lives. He is personal. He cares about you. He wants a deep and intimate relationship with you, and he cares about what's going on in your life, even the small details that we don't always notice ourselves. So no matter what comes against you, no matter what you're facing in any season of your life, know and keep in your heart the truth that you can run to God and that he wants you to come to him. No matter what other people are saying about you or about your situation, and no matter what doubts you or other people may have about God's ability to help you, go to him first and foremost. Don't allow yourself to sit there and dwell on that doubt, but go to him. Let him give you his peace, and let him show you why you can trust in him, and let him show you the deep love that he has for you. Look at what verse 3 and 4 says. But you, O Lord, are a shield about me, my glory and the lifter of my head. I cried aloud to the Lord, and he answered me from his holy hill. In the midst of all his hardships and trials, did David complain and grow bitter against the Lord? No, he sought the Lord and pursued him even more. In the midst of your trials, it can be very tempting to focus on all the bad things going on, or to get distracted with everything fighting for your attention. Instead of looking through an earthly lens, when looking at his hardships, David sought God and was viewing them through heaven's lens. David knew that no matter where, when, or what he was facing, he could run to God. Because God is our refuge. He's an ever-present help in trouble. God wants us to come to him in both the good times and the bad times. He wants us to learn that we can lean on him and depend on him no matter what our situation is. When we bring what we are facing to God and seek him in it, he will give us his peace, which surpasses all understanding. In the midst of the trial, we can be calm, have peace, and know that everything will be all right because God is fighting on our behalf. When we learn to depend on God and come to him with what we are facing, in the midst of the storm, we can have a clear mind and have quiet in the storm. We can listen to what he wants to tell us and let him guide us through that situation. It's so important to make time to spend with God in prayer and in the Bible. When we make time to spend with him, we learn to hear his voice. We learn what he sounds like, how to see where he is leading us, and how to discern when he is on the move. Look again at what David said in verse 4. I cried aloud to the Lord, and he answered me from his holy hill. David brought his problems, his concerns, and his heart and laid them out before God. Jesus says in Matthew 11, "Come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." Not only can we go to God when we are feeling the pressure of life and what we are facing, but He wants us to. He wants to help us, and He will if you'll only come to Him. But don't let it stop at the bad times. We should be going to God in the good times too and building our relationship with Him daily. You were made in the image of God and to have a relationship with Him. We are meant to walk out life with Him daily, to have a real, deep, and intimate relationship with Him. He cares about you more than you could ever know, and He wants to walk out life with you. He wants to talk to you, to hear about your day. He wants to know you and to be known by you. Look at what verse 5 and 6 says. "I lay down and slept. I woke again, for the Lord sustained me. I will not be afraid of many thousands of people who have set themselves against me all around." The Lord sustains us. He is true life, and in Him we can have the true rest that our souls long for. No matter what is going on in our lives, when we are plugged into God, when we are depending on Him, when we go to Him in the good and in the bad, and when we are walking hand in hand with Him, nothing can shake us. Nothing can stand against us because God is with us, God is for us, and God has the final say. Problem after problem, situation after situation can stack up against us. They can hit us left and right, and no matter how many things come up against us, God is for us. So who or what can stand against us? I don't know what you are going through right now or what you are facing, but I know God, and I know that He is the miracle worker. He is the way maker, and I know that nothing is impossible for Him. So wherever you are in life, whatever you are facing, and no matter how impossible it may seem right now, bring it to God. Spend time with Him in prayer and in the Bible. Listen to what He is trying to tell you, and let Him teach you how to lean on Him, how to trust in Him, and let Him give you His peace. The thing that you are facing right now might be the door to your next blessing once God is done with it. He wants to have that deep relationship with you that you were made for. So go to Him and walk out the adventure with Him that He has in store for you.